Hi, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Um, what I wanted to talk about is something personal that pertains to me. I had talked about it once upon a time before, but I figured, with new people coming in, new subscribers, and things like that, I would go ahead, you know, and talk about something that personal that's pertaining to me. So, as the story goes, 2 days ago, July 24 of 1978, well, the mystery about me finally came to a close. In other words, what do I mean? Well, I, being a Navy brat, I lived overseas and I would have to go to Germany aboard the military base. I would go every year for the CAT scan, for my condition. And finally, July  24th, 1978, they said your son has tuberous sclerosis, which at the time really brought the walls down around my dad. And he wasn't expecting that. I mean, it was hard on my mom, my dad. It probably hit, I'm sure it hit both of them pretty hard. But, well, what is tuberous sclerosis? I'll gladly explain it. It is a condition that's pretty rare, although I'm seeing more people these days have the condition. But based on what I know at that time, it fell once every seventh generation. Does that mean on that seventh generation of child would it show up? No, it's a 50-50. It's just the probability of it showing up in the seventh generation is more probable. That's what it is. Um, what you see on my face, the growths, I've got some on the back of my neck, some on my abdomen. I do have four benign tumors in the center of my brain. I've got one in my left eye that I was born with, right in the back where everything comes together. My right eye, back in 2001, 2002, I developed what's called an astrocytic hamartoma. It's a type of tumor that wound up bleeding, and it would intermittently bleed off and on, off and on. It got to the point to where my vision was completely. I could, I could, I mean, I could see light, I could see, colors, but it was just very blurry, very out of focus. So I wound up having to go to a retina specialist. I thought at the time I had a detached retina. Well, that wasn't the case. It was because of that hamartoma tumor that had, you know, hemorrhaged. So what I would have to do was sleep with my head elevated to let the blood drain, and then I would have to go back 3 weeks to a month later and have it monitored. And what eventually resulted is I wound up having to have a laser surgery done on the top and the lower part of that eye to keep the little arteries or the whatever's in the back of the eye, those little veins, from being aggravated. So, all in all, right eye, I'm 2400, which is considered legally blind. Left eye, as far as I know, I'm still able to see like any other. But I do have limitations. I can't be out in the sun. If I do, and if I am out in the sun, I can't. I mean, you can't help not being out in the sun because it's going to happen regardless. Um, let's say if I go to a store, get out of my car, go straight in, come back out, get my car. If I'm not careful, these have been known to break and bleed. If not that, the bone underneath my face has been known to hurt. I've had to put compresses on it. Um, I do have nerve endings that wound up in the wrong spot, so I can't be out in the sun anyway. Like if I were to go to a pool, I would have to wear a shirt. If I don't, I tend to burn and get a sunburn more quickly than most people do. Um, anything that I do, I would either have to do it like late in the evening or early in the morning just before the sun comes up. That's when my the majority of my activities would have to take place in order, for nothing to result. So, it is a condition that shows up once every seventh generation. It's very rare. Um, there's some information on it on the internet. It's also known as TSC. You can also look it up that way. And but I myself, because I didn't want to put any child that I might have taking a risk of possibly having it to go through what I had to go through as a kid, going to the doctors and everything I had to be put through, the little hurdles I had to jump through and things like that. I did not want to put my own kid to go through that. So I opted, you know, not to have any children. It was just my choice. But bottom line, everything about me, I've had to go back and readjust my life because of the 2400 vision in my right eye. At the time, I thought, how am I going to move forward? What am I going to do? How am I going to, overcome this? Well, I never really overcame it. It's something I deal with. But what I have done is I've learned to cope and manage with it. So unless I physically tell you verbally that I'm 2400 vision in my right eye, nobody would be able to tell it. You can't see it. Everything, the way my eyes function, look, move, is as any other human being. So unless I told you, you wouldn't know. But that's a little bit of some personal information about me that I wanted to share with you guys. You know, I've also got a couple of lesions on my left leg that also indicates that I have tuberous sclerosis. But as I've gotten older and I've developed a little bit of a tan on my legs, it's a little bit hard to see, but if you look close enough, it's still there to be seen, you know. So, anyway, guys, I just wanted to put this little video out there to catch all of you up about me. And, that's pretty much it for the most part. Again, I hope all of you, stay tuned. Coming up toward the weekend, there will be another, as you guys know, another video that will go up. So be on the lookout for that. And I will see you guys then. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.